A local security expert says federal agents are still very busy behind the scenes.
Right now, investigators are digging through more evidence, trying to tie these brothers directly to the Boston bombings. Jennifer Ah has more in tonight's team coverage.
Well, Michelle Dawn, the expert I sat down with, says investigators are currently talking to family, friends, and anyone else who's been in contact with the suspects, both here in America and overseas. It's all to put the pieces together on what led to the bombings and if this is really the end of the terror. After police finally captured the second suspect in the Boston Marathon bombings, Mike Baker, a former CIA covert operations officer, says the workload for federal agents in this kind of case is ongoing.
You're not seeing all the intelligence gathering that's going on, all the forensic work that's taking place. They're tearing apart these two suspects' lives, basically. They're looking at everything.
Baker says investigators are now sifting through the brothers' laptops, phone records, in fact, all of their activities since birth. Some are still confused about how the well-liked brothers carried out these acts of terror.
Some people are even convinced he was framed, especially his father.
Right.
Is there a chance that he was framed?
No. And it's always that case where you get some horrific act of violence. Now, whether the younger brother was pulled along by his older brother, who did appear to become radicalized, at least in the recent past, and we think, but they were successful. They had blended into America. They were popular, it seemed, to some degree. We don't understand. The problem is we have this mindset about what a terrorist should look like.
But why would these brothers get into this? I mean, especially, they seem like they were smart, they were good athletes. I mean, they have a lot to lose by doing this.
Yeah, who knows? The reasons why they became disaffected, and then we can start peeling apart the issues of motivation. Perhaps self-radicalized or came in contact with others who helped push them down that road.
Baker says the face of terrorism is changing. Since Al-Qaeda publishes magazines and websites, their message now reaches people across the world. And with the second suspect in custody, Baker says he will most likely be interrogated right away.
They'll sit him down, and the first thing they'll say is, do you know of any other impending attacks? No. Oh, if he says, let's move on to the next subject, who helped you? And that's what they're going to be focused on. Where did they get the support for this? You're looking at additional potential actionable leads. There's a great deal of work that goes on that never gets in the public eye.
What do you think is the biggest lesson learned through this attack?
I think the biggest lesson learned is probably for the general public. Terrorism comes in a lot of different forms.
Baker says there is no clear line between domestically grown and international terrorism, and there are many instances around the world where those lines are very much blurred. In fact, he says he's not surprised the suspects were able to blend in so well in American society. Live in the studio, I'm Jennifer Ah, today's 6 on Your Side.